Good morning, everyone. Such an honor and privilege to be here, represent Tonga, as well as the Pacific region in Dallas, Texas this morning. And as mentioned by my dear friend, Matthew Chanchin, Tonga's been deeply involved in the climate, biodiversity, and land conference of parties convened by the United Nations based on conventions from way beyond my time. I actually assumed my role as Prime Minister December this year, so I'm fairly green or blue to the job, and it's only been 4 months, but it's been a roller coaster ride. And as we speak, Tonga is suffering from blackouts, and I'm actually at fault for the blackouts in Tonga because I'm here in Dallas, not fixing our generators at home. But anyway, what's important is the fact that we are convening here at a time and place that is required by nature, by planet Earth, because we need to bring all these actors that Matthew's mentioned, philanthropy, governments, innovators, to achieve our climate ambition. And what I'm bringing this morning is the cultural context that we bring as custodians of the ocean. Tonga has existed for 1,000 years in the Pacific, and we migrated from arguably South America or South Asia. There isn't quite a consensus around that. But the fact remains that we are there. We're in the middle of the Pacific, and we are suffering from climate devastation, from effects on biodiversity. We are at the forefronts of natural disasters and sea level rising, acidification of the ocean. Before I left, we received photos of coral bleaching because of the increase in temperature in the oceans. And if this persists, the coral will die. I asked a friend of mine to take photos of the coral. He jumped in the water and sent me photos, and I'm very happy to say that I'm able to meet with coral scientists here at EarthX to diagnose and look at possible solutions to address problems that we're facing today. And nowhere else can you do that but here at EarthX, which is fantastic. So from that point of view, I just want to segue into a story about why I care about nature. And I sort of slipped into it by accident, like most things in my life. And I was on a holiday in one of my favorite islands in the north of Tonga, known as Hapai. And if you ever have a chance, do let me know to visit Hapai, because I think it's one of those most precious places on the planet. One morning, we decided to take the boat out to look for leopard sharks. And leopard sharks are beautiful reef sharks, and they live in families, and they have the most beautiful, kind nature. You don't bother them. They just sleep on the sea floor and mind to their own. And as we were looking for the leopard sharks, we couldn't find them. But we were so lucky that morning, we came across a baby whale instead. So just myself, my friend, and my wife, just the three of us, we slipped into the water with our snorkels, swam towards this baby whale, which is about the size of 3 of your round tables put together. A 5-ton whale is a baby. And this whale came up to us. It was so curious, and we were just in awe of its presence. And it came up to us, and it just swam towards us. And about as far away as that screen is from me, it would dive and then come back around, and it would just keep doing this donut in front of us. And what was probably 2 or 3 minutes felt like half an hour. Time slowed. You realize how lucky you are to be in the presence of such majestic creatures. And you actually make eye contact with them, and you realize that behind the glistening of their eyes is intelligence, is empathy. It knows you are there, you make a connection. You know what I'm talking about. And, you know, you come out of the water and you don't even know it, but tears are flowing down your eyes, and it leaves an impact. And this is something that I wish every woman, man, and child will have the pleasure of experiencing. And I have to admit that more tourists come to Tonga and swim in the whales than Tongans do. And maybe like the tourist sites here, more visitors from outside experience the nature of Texas. And that's the same thing that happens in our islands. We do not fully appreciate what we have in our backyard. And I have to say that after that first moment that I had with the baby whale, something stirred within me. A switch just flicks, and you start realizing that everything that we've been talking about is at stake. And it's really important that not only do our people and our children who are at school and future generations know about this, but they need to have the opportunity to experience nature or the great outdoors. And it's only then that you grow empathy, only then do you grow the courage to protect what you truly know and believe to be precious. And we are in a road to devastation. We're in the road to self-destruction. And, you know, geopolitics is one thing. The wars that are happening, the unnecessary deaths that are happening around the world is probably the tip of the iceberg, because underlying that, we're really bad at making decisions, and we need to change our consumption, we need to change our behaviors. And from a government perspective, we can legislate all of that. But politicians are afraid of who they're accountable to, and the people need to make their voice heard through the ballot. We come from democratic countries, and policies, especially sovereign policies of national governments, are driven by what the people want. And this might be conflicting with what governments need, what corporations want. But corporations also respond to simple supply and demand. As consumers, we shape the supply and demand of marketplace. So through the power of the ballot, through the power of your own individual decisions, whether it be shaped by selfish decisions or through some selfless act, it comes down to individual choice. And I don't need to tell you that we're at a juncture in history where we have to choose between nature and us. I don't think that's really the dichotomy that's at play. It's really, we are nature. If nature dies, we die. So in summary, really, it's a no-brainer. It should be. Some decisions are not decisions, they should be already made. And so from Tonga, we have this cultural heritage that spans for millennia. To give you some context, Tonga has stood on its own for a long time. We are the last remaining monarchy in the Pacific. We've never been conquered or colonized. We've maintained our cultural heritage, and we don't have to go through decolonization like many of our neighbors. And this has given us a unique vantage point. Through our unique custodian and stewardship of the oceans and the environment that we live in, we have a unique perspective on what we need to protect because of our unique linkages to land and sea. And, you know, I've grown up educated in the West, and I guess it took a swim with a baby whale for me to realize what we had. And I sincerely invite all of you to come to Tonga to swim with the whales. I know some of you are already planning to come in September. And I swear it will be a life-changing experience. And it's something that I wish more people will have to experience. If you've watched the movie Avatar, the second movie that is about the whales, what that movie left me feeling was I need to go home and swim with the whales. And in fact, I think it was a missed opportunity for Tonga tourism. If we installed a stall selling tickets outside every cinema that, I mean, our country would be full of people. Because this is an act this is a fictional story, right? That has stirred people to care about a fictional character, about a made-up alien whale. But here we are living with the real thing. And I think that was a complete missed opportunity by the previous government, not mine. But I'm very happy to be here and to support EarthX and to participate as chair of the as co-chair of the Island Resiliency Summit yesterday, and to support the Nature Summit today. I think we can realize some fantastic outcomes and definitely make our voice count. We need to make our voice heard, and we need to act. The time to act, as the Chinese proverb says, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. So there is a sense of urgency. I think we need to make our time on Earth count. So I'm very appreciative of everyone who's here, and thank you for the opportunity and for listening to my short stories. I just want to give you all my love and thank you for doing what you do. Everyone here is here because we all care about nature. Thank you very much.